This is absolutely everything we know about GTA 6 so far. No, this isn't just another clickbait GTA 6 video with modded GTA 5 gameplay in the background while an AI voice talks to you about random things that never happened. If you haven't been keeping up to date with GTA 6 news, you might not know that we actually know a lot about this game already. Like, there's hundreds of confirmed details. How? Well, of course from the trailer we found out a lot, but we actually knew a lot before that as well. Today, we'll revisit the GTA 6 document. What is the GTA 6 document? Remember when over 50 minutes of GTA 6 development gameplay leaked back in 2022? Yeah, well, a team of people have dissected every tiny detail from every second of that footage and put it into this document. This is basically the GTA 6 Bible. So this video is going to be broken up into two parts. Part 1 will cover the GTA 6 document and everything that we found out from those leaks in 2022, as well as any info that we knew before Trailer 1 came out. The second part of this video will be things that we learned from Trailer 1, because even though it's a 90-second trailer, we learned a lot. So there will be timestamps below. You can skip to whichever part of the video you want to look at. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go. Let's talk about the engine. The Euphoria physics have been tweaked, and the ragdoll physics and overall physics of the game are going to be improved from GTA 5. The lighting and the skybox systems from Red Dead Redemption 2 can be seen in GTA 6, so things like volumetric clouds, better lighting, it's all going to be a massive step up, and even a bit of a step up from Red Dead 2. Also in the leaks we saw heavy fog, which we didn't really see in GTA 5 except for maybe when it's snowing, but advanced weather systems are going to be a lot more present in GTA 6. We already know of quite a few characters that are going to be in GTA 6. Of course, we know the two main characters are Jason and Lucia, but in the leaks, these fans have also found a lot of other characters' names. First off, we know there's going to be a character named Dre, D-R-E, and no, that's not Dr. Dre, this is a separate character. There'll be a character named Sam, who is a friend of Dre. There's also a character named Kai, Wyman, Billy, Tit, yes, literally, the name is Tit, Zach, R.B. Shaw, and we also see other characters mentioned named Vicky, Iris, Shanice, Booby, and YJ. It's honestly quite crazy that we have these details, but we know the height of the characters in the game. So Lucia is 5'3" and Jason is going to be 6'1". We also know of the name of 3 different gangs that will be in Vice City. San for San, which is a Haitian gang. We've got the Guardia Brothers and the Far Right Militia. We also know of a bunch of different items and tools. We have the auto dialer, binoculars, immobilizer bypass, a cutoff tool, painkillers, pool cue, trauma kits, golf driver, food and drink, a golf putter, USB drive, a golf iron, a crowbar, a golf wedge, torch, Slim Jim, tracker jammer, duffel bag for your loot, cigarettes, and a backpack, again, for your loot. We also have a list of confirmed weapons: a rocket launcher, an assault rifle, baseball bat, polymer pistol, knife, bolt-action sniper, a Molotov, a spear gun, which is interesting, smoke grenade, compact SMG, a flashbang, a micro SMG, hunter sniper, heavy machine gun, auto rifle, and a pump-action shotgun. The weapon wheel will be split up into 3 sections: weapons, equipment, and gear. Very similar to Red Dead Redemption 2, where you had your weapons, items, and horse. In one clip, we see that you can hold different weapons in each hand, and there's an additional quick item inventory in the bottom left. On your screen now, you can see what are recreations of the weapon wheels that we saw in the GTA 6 leaks. And you can see that already there are different weapon wheels as the game got further along in development. It's tough to say which exact weapon wheel we're going to get when the game launches. It'll probably even change slightly from the ones you're seeing here. In one video, you can see an NPC shooting at Jason, and right after Jason was low on health, a tip appeared on the left side of the screen that said, "You are injured, your health will regen slowly, open your weapon wheel and use a recovery item to replenish your health faster." So in GTA 5, of course, you only regen health up to 50% health. From there, you have to eat snacks and that will heal you fully. It looks like maybe in GTA 6, you will actually recover to full health without any healing, but it'll just be really, really slow. That's not really confirmed, but that's kind of what the wording makes it sound like. And it sounds like if you want to heal faster, then you'll use a med item. We have 7 confirmed open world activities. Currently, we have dice, golf, fishing, and races. We also have a van shipment, and in one of the videos you can see the spawning place of a delivery van event, and this is near the industrial area of Port Gellhorn. On one of the garages in this zone you can see a warning poster about security cameras being operated in this area, so you'll probably need to be careful to not get spotted while you're trying to rob the van. Robberies. This should not really come as a surprise. If you saw the leaks, the video clip that probably stood out to you was the Hank's Waffles robbery. That was pretty impressive. Basically, Jason and Lucia went in and robbed this massive diner. In one of these other clips where Jason was going in to rob a store, we also can see that he has an ability that lets him sort of see through walls. The leaks here also say that there are also events for finding something or nothing in vehicle trunks, so it looks like you'll be able to search vehicle trunks. The final event we have confirmed are deliveries. It says there are also events for Port Gellhorn called Delivery or Pickup Warehouse. Kind of hard to say what that's going to be like exactly, but that's all the info we have. As for enterable buildings, there will be a lot more enterable buildings in GTA 6, and the ones that we have confirmed are here. The Malibu Club, a pawn shop, a Jack of Hearts strip club, supermarkets, bars, restaurants, apartments, and laundries. Let's talk about multiplayer. We did see one multiplayer clip in the GTA 6 leaked files. And on the bottom left of the screen, it said PL2 of 32. So there were 2 players in the lobby out of 32 possible slots. This is the same as Red Dead Online and GTA Online. It says 32, but the player cap is actually 30, and then there's 2 additional spots for spectators. While I personally hope that we will get bigger lobbies in GTA 6, at least in this testing phase, they were only testing out for 30-player lobbies. Let's talk about collectibles. Wyman car parts. In one of the clips with Lucia, you see one of the devs placing a cardboard box on the ground. This box seems to have a circle icon on it, indicating that these boxes are lootable. The debug text on this box said collectibles _car _parts, so it looks like these will be car part collectibles. But another thing that you can see written there is Wyman car parts boxed generic used, which people are speculating may mean you can collect car parts for Wyman. They go on to say here that it seems as though both Jason and this character called Wyman will have a mutual interest in classic cars. Collectible hats. In a video where Jason is in an apartment, the hat the developer is playing with is a collectible apparently. This is shown with the debug text stating that it is an ambient collectible hat. This suggests that one of the ambient features in the game will be to gather articles of clothing. And that's pretty interesting, honestly. We then have a compiled list of every single brand that's in the game. I'm not going to read these out. Instead, I'm just going to put all of them on your screen right now. Because while I'm sure a lot of these will be important to the story, a lot of them won't be, and I don't want to read off a massive list of brands that you won't even remember. So here they all are on your screen now. Pause the video if you want to look at them. Next, we have a list of every single confirmed animal in the game. So we're going to have snakes, seagulls, skunks, raccoons, alligators, boars, wading birds, squirrels, southern leopard frogs, crayfish, lizards, skunk apes, pigeons, opossums, and whales. Keep in mind, those are the only confirmed animals. Good chance is we will see a lot more when the game actually releases. These are just the only ones we know of right now. We've also discovered a lot of new mechanics. So here's a list of all of the new mechanics. You'll be able to walk while in cover. You'll be able to go prone, which is awesome. Finally, in GTA, we can lay down. You'll have loot bags to store additional loot. You'll be able to drop and pick up weapons. There's a new under fire animation where your character covers their face while they're getting shot at. You'll have the option to revive yourself after a heavy hit. You'll be able to switch shoulders while you're aiming down sights, which is awesome. You can grapple during fist fights. There'll be buddy comms and a buddy ping system. So this is interesting. I'd assume this will be a shared ping between Jason and Lucia. We'll have to wait and see though. There'll be a new cover mode. The way you shoot out of car windows is completely changed. Your character will completely hop out of the window so you can shoot in a full 360. There'll be a new eagle eye system. This is most likely only Jason's ability because that's all we saw, where Jason could sort of see through walls. Not sure if Lucia will also be able to do this. You'll be able to interact with more objects and people, so things like carrying bodies, robbing, threatening, and talking to NPCs during robberies. And you'll be able to pick up more items like beer bottles and cans. Let's talk about new gameplay systems, and a lot of these are very exciting, including the first one, which is money laundering. During the Hank's Waffles robbery, there is an icon that's tracked to the car wash property. This icon is a washing machine with a $sign in the middle, which essentially is confirmed to mean money laundering. This suggests that properties can be purchased with the intent of laundering money. So while we don't have any info on exactly what that's going to look like, it does look like in single player you will again be able to purchase certain types of businesses for illegal activity. Fences are in the game, and no, I'm not talking about a fence that you jump over or drive through. We're talking about a fence in terms of the illegal kind. Essentially, a fence is someone you'll give an illegal item to, and then they'll buy it off you, and then they'll sell it to someone else. Hacking will be in the game to some extent, as Lucia carries around a tracker jammer, immobilizer bypass, a USB drive, and an auto dialer. It's unconfirmed if Jason will also be able to have these items. As for right now, we've only seen Lucia with them, and earlier leaks from a couple of years ago did indicate that Lucia was going to be the hacker. So we'll have to wait and see with that one. Pragmatic, cool, or chaotic, and romantic, cool, or chaotic are different types of events that are mentioned in the events list. You'll also be able to make commands of the other character during a robbery. So in the robbery video that we saw from the leaks, a tip pops up which tells you to check in with Jason or hold for more options. This likely means that you can give your partner commands during a robbery, since you can also see a prompt to tell Jason to surrender as well as tell him to follow you. So it looks like you'll be able to kind of somewhat control two characters at once, which should make it a lot easier instead of having to rely on an AI. The witness system and police recognition. This one's pretty big. So in the Hank's Waffle robbery video, you can see under the wanted level stars, the words full description, which implies that the witnesses have a full description of you, which likely means that police will recognize you. Once Lucia enters the police vehicle, you can see no vehicle description written, which quickly changes to full vehicle description. This suggests that the police will have a full description of your vehicle. After that, more text pops up saying any vehicle you are seen entering will be known to the law. So what this probably means is even after you lose your wanted level, if the police see you again in that vehicle, they're gonna pull you over and arrest you, or, try and kill you. Also during the robbery, Jason is seen trying to prevent the customers that have a yellow icon above their head from either calling the cops or running away. You can also see a female NPC inside the diner with a yellow icon above her head. And right after Lucia leaves the diner, her icon begins to flicker, and then after Lucia gets close to the police car surrounded by the cops, the icon then turns red. Then this woman leaves the diner and looks at Lucia before running away. So safe to say, the NPC systems are going to be a lot more advanced. This is very impressive. Sharing items. Jason and Lucia look like they'll be able to share items between them. For example, one clip shows Jason stealing items from containers, and he keeps certain items while sharing others. Unlocking doors and gates. In one of the videos with Jason in the San for San area, which if you remember, San for San is the name of a gang in GTA 6. In this clip where Jason sneaks in front of a red truck, you can see a door from an import garage building, which in its debug text says door panel locked. However, there is a gate in the same clip that says door unlocked. So you're gonna have to unlock certain doors and gates. Next, we get 2 full pages of new features. First up is an improved AI system. In one of the videos, you can see the enemy AI shooting Lucia when she turns around, so AI are going to be a bit smarter in terms of deciding when to shoot you. This AI also changes their height depending on the height of the object in front of them, so I hope they're not going to try and head glitch you. That would really suck. But also just other smart stuff like lowering their position when they're reloading the weapon instead of just reloading out in the open. They're also going to strafe left to right when they're shooting you. There will also be improved NPC behavior. As seen in the leaks, a lot of AI no longer walk around as single pedestrians, but actually travel as groups. This is a feature that was in Red Dead Redemption 2, and you can see this in one video where you see Lucia with a duffel bag on a sidewalk, and 3 men in tourist attire walk past her while talking to each other. So this is cool because in GTA 5, all of the pedestrians walking down the street are just walking by themselves, but now there's going to be groups of people, different friendship groups, maybe even couples walking down on the side of the street. Pretty cool. You'll now be able to surrender to the police during a robbery, so that's interesting. I wonder what the consequences for that are going to be. We'll have to wait and see. You can now buy gumballs from gumball machines. I'm assuming this is going to heal you, but again, we'll have to wait and see. Just like GTA 5, your character's clothes will become dirty. In terms of the hair and facial hair systems, there are various versions of Jason visible in the leaks. Sometimes he has long hair, sometimes short hair, sometimes stubble, and sometimes he's clean shaven. While this isn't necessarily confirmed, we're taking an educated guess here. This suggests a hair growth system like in Red Dead Redemption 2. And I mean, this is all but confirmed, right? If it was in Red Dead Redemption 2, it's pretty much certainly going to be in GTA 6, especially considering we see different hair lengths throughout these clips. Eating and drinking from your inventory. When Jason is at the gas station, 1 wine, soda, and fruit can be seen added into the inventory, which means you can eat or drink from your inventory at any time, just like in Red Dead and GTA Online. There's a new type of event called a cop trap. This is set up in a bunch of locations. The confirmed locations are on your screen now. But yes, it looks like police will set up different traps to try and catch you out. There's a new police system that's called time until cops dispatch. So when you commit a crime now, it doesn't look like the police will just instantly show up. You will have a little bit of time to make a getaway before cops start coming for you. Security cameras will spot you, but it'll be a bit different to how they work in GTA Online. There will be a detection meter. The best way I can describe this is something like in Payday, if anyone's played Payday 2 or Payday 3, how a bar sort of fills up and you need to get out of the camera's line of sight within that time frame, or else you're going to get spotted. You'll have the ability to restrain NPCs. The only confirmed way that we have to do this at the moment, from what we've seen in the leaks, is with zip ties, but you will be able to zip tie NPCs during robberies. You'll be able to loot vehicles in the Hank's Waffles video. For a split second, you can see on the bottom right of your screen a button that says Examine SUV, so you have a chance to examine random cars and possibly rob them. There will be an advanced hijacking cars system. For example, the existence of the immobilizer bypass, which we spoke about earlier. This implies that stealing a luxury car will be harder, and as we saw earlier as well, the existence of an item called a Slim Jim will be used to unlock older cars. So it seems like hijacking cars will be harder, and there are events referencing the possibility of even failing to steal a car. So we've seen 3 things here: steal car full, steal car in progress, and steal car fail. So now, maybe you might actually fail to steal a car. That would be pretty embarrassing. There's also 2 additional events which are very interesting, called Carjacking-Cat and Carjacking-Advanced AI. GTA 6 will have improved vehicle damage and handling. This is pretty obvious, of course, but in one of the clips where Lucia's driving away from the cops, car crashes are more impactful, with more parts like the front fender splitting apart and the hood of the car bending more realistically. Car interiors now have a working GPS and waypoint system in the dashboard while driving in first person. That's pretty cool. And you'll also now have the option to enter a car in the passenger seat instead of automatically jumping into the driver's seat. So again, pretty cool. It's no surprise that GTA 6 will have an insane amount of detail, and we have an entire page dedicated to the attention to detail. You'll be able to find raccoons rummaging through trash cans and even stealing food bags. This is seen in the files where we have 3 world events called Raccoon Climb Out of Garbage, Raccoon Rummage Trash, and Raccoon Steal Food Bag. There are way too many tiny bits of attention to detail here to mention. But if this sort of thing is really interesting to you, again, I've left a link to this in the description below. So check these out. These are on page 19 and 20 if you want to look at all of these. Sound. To no one's surprise, sound is going to be a lot more realistic in GTA 6. Things like weapon sounds are a lot crisper and more realistic. They're also going to be a lot louder. Things like bodies hitting the floor as well are going to have a bit more of a thud and just sound a lot more impactful. Police sirens are going to echo off buildings and different things in the environment a lot more realistically, and items are going to sound different depending on what stuff is around you. So if you're in a shipping container, things are going to echo a bit more, have a bit more reverb. and all in all, just try and emulate real life a bit more. Interesting events. These are just random events that will happen as you're walking throughout the world. So I'm going to put these on your screen now. I won't read out all of them, but as you can see, some of these are very, very interesting. Things like a parking dispute, a donut burnout, protests, someone getting a concussion. I genuinely can't tell you how excited I am just to walk around the world of Vice City. It looks like it's going to be so realistic, and there's always going to be stuff going on. So pause the video if you need to look at all of these. I would recommend it. These are very, very impressive. Next, we get a massive list of every vehicle that was confirmed to be in GTA 6 that we saw both in the files and in the game in these leaks. I read all of these off in the last video where I covered GTA 6. I'm not going to read them all off again, but again, just like the interesting events, I'll leave them all on your screen now so you can have a look at them. And if you do want to look at these in the document yourself, these are on page 30. We have a bunch of confirmed locations in Vice City and the surrounding areas. So of course, Vice City being the main one, but within Vice City, we'll have a location based on Edgewater. We're going to have North Vice City, Rock Ridge, Little Haiti, Vice Beach, South Beach, Washington Beach, Key Biscayne. We'll also have Port Gellhorn, which looks like it's going to be a separate city, kind of what Sandy Shores or Paleto Bay was, if you know what I mean. You have Los Santos, then you have a different city. One of those will be Port Gellhorn. We've also got Yorktown, Ambrosia, Sundown, The Keys, La Pearl, Red Hill, Lake Leonida, Hamlet, Stockyard, Homestead, Grass Rivers, Ekinfanaka, Underwater, and Relief. As you would have seen on your screen, below each of those locations is also a bunch of other mini locations, like within those locations. It is crazy how much detail we already have about this game. So again, pause the video, go back to that if you want to look at every individual place. And that just about sums up the GTA 6 document. Before we move into all of the details from trailer 1, let's have a quick look at the GTA 6 mapping project. This is a rough outline of what the GTA 6 map should look like, and we know this is accurate because this is using a bunch of the coordinates that were found in the 2022 leaks. All of the leaked footage had coordinates of where the camera was on the bottom of the screen, so using those coordinates, the mappers have created this map. Of course, it's still very empty because we have only been to certain parts of the map, and of course there's going to be a lot more, but for now, this is what we know. We know that Port Gellhorn is going to be on the left side of the map, and this is roughly what it's going to be looking like from what we've seen so far. We've got the entire Vice City as well as the Vice Beach area, which is where most of the story is most likely going to take place. This will be absolutely huge. And then down south, we have Homestead as well as the Gator Keys, which is the Florida Keys. As for the size of the map, it's not completely confirmed just yet, but based off this mapping project, the map is looking to be roughly twice the size of GTA 5, which is obviously really exciting. And I'll leave a link to the mapping project down below if you wanted to check it out yourself. Let's move on to the GTA 6 trailer. You've probably watched this trailer a million times already and watched a million breakdowns on it, but really all the trailer did was confirm a bunch of the stuff that was in the GTA 6 document. For example, NPCs are going to be together a lot more. There's going to be groups of people instead of just people doing their own thing. You can see couples out walking together, running with a dog, for example. The thing we learned the most about in GTA 6's trailer was actually vehicles. So let's recap every vehicle that was confirmed in the GTA 6 trailer. So starting here on the left is the Galavanta Baller from GTA 5. Below that, we see another vehicle towing this boat. That's the Vapid Bobcat XL, also from GTA 5. Next to the Baller, I initially thought this was a Gauntlet Hellfire, but upon further inspection, the community has found out that this is actually the Vapid Dominator. Next to that, we can see a tour bus. A lot of people thought this was the same tour bus as GTA 5. This is not. This is a new vehicle. Then to the right of that one, we can see the Vapid Speedo returning from GTA 5 as well. The only other vehicle we can really see clearly enough to make out is the Zirconium Stratum over here. So just from this screenshot alone, we can confirm 5 vehicles coming back. In the next scene, we see a brand new drivable yacht. This was definitely not a drivable vehicle in previous games, but on the beach here, we can actually see the Cara 4x4. This looks like it's going to be the Lifeguard or one of the Lifeguard vehicles in GTA 6. And then in the sky, we can see 2 returning vehicles, the Maverick helicopter and the Dodo plane. Particularly, the Dodo is just a GTA classic at this point. I think this will basically be in every GTA game forever. We then get our first look at around the Everglades and we see a new fan boat here. Now this is similar to what we got in San Andreas, but it's not that one. It's a completely new vehicle. But I can already tell this one's going to be a lot of fun to drive around the Everglades with. From this screenshot here, we can also confirm 5 vehicles. So we'll start up in the air. We have the Super Velito helicopter. This is one of the more luxury helicopters in GTA 5, so I don't think this will be very cheap. And then on the top right here, we've got the Sea Sparrow returning from GTA 5. Now, if you've never used this one, it's actually pretty cool. It can land in the water. Honestly, this could be a really good vehicle to fly around the Everglades with, in all honesty, seeing as the swamps will be everywhere and it might be hard to land the vehicle on land. We also get a closer up shot of the Cara 4x4 that we saw in the last screenshot, and we see 2 jet skis. One of these is returning, the Sea Shark here on the left, and next to that we see a brand new jet ski, and the great people on Twitter have found out that this is based off a Yamaha Wave Runner. Here we see a bunch of boats. Now, I went through all of the GTA 5 websites. I thought this boat at the front here was a returning boat. It's actually not. So this one's new, and in fact, all of these boats are new, which is good news. Hopefully, boats play a bigger role in Vice City. I think they probably would. There will be a lot more water in Vice City compared to Los Santos. This shot gives us 2 returning supercars. The first one here that Lucia is in is the Pegassi Zaruso. This is actually one of my favorite supercars in the game. I love this one in GTA 5. And over to the left here, we have the Grotti Furia. Moving on to the next scene, I don't think I have ever seen so many people love a specific vehicle. This vehicle on the right here is just blowing up on social media. People love it. It's based on a Chrysler 300. We haven't actually seen this vehicle since GTA 4. In GTA 4, this was called the PMP 600. Now, spoiler alert for later on in the trailer. I'll just show it to you now. This is not the PMP 600. This is actually the next version of it, the PMP 700. And we can see that because we see later on in the trailer that on the back of the car here, it says 700. Now, in front of the PMP here, we have the Albany Buccaneer Custom returning. This is a lowrider, of course, very obviously. And then in front of the Buccaneer, we have the Tulip M100 also coming back. But this is a customization that you could not put on it in previous games. The customization on especially the lowriders looks absolutely incredible. If you haven't played GTA Online, essentially a few years after release, they released Benny's Custom Motorworks, which let you do a lot more of this type of customization, but not to this level. So GTA 6 is taking it even a step further. Here on the left, we have the Albany Primo returning. In the middle of the road, we have the DeClass Granger 3600 also coming back from GTA Online. Then a little bit further back here on the left, we have the Vapid Chino also returning. If we go forward a couple of frames here, not even a second, and we look in the background, and again, huge shout out to Twitter and also the GTA 6 subreddit for this as well. There is no way I could have found all of these myself. But in the back here, we can see the Albany Washington. Also in this frame, we get a pretty clear shot of the NS Jubilee, as well as what looks to be a new motorbike. And off in the very distance on the left here, we can see 2 Omnis cars, which is GTA's version of Audi. Now, the one on the left here is apparently the Omnis EGT from GTA Online. I'll take people's words for it. It's kind of hard to make out. It's very, very blurry. And then this Omnis on the right here is still unconfirmed. Probably a new variant or a new vehicle completely. And then also in the sky, we can see another Maverick helicopter, but this is a police Maverick, which is the same helicopter, just a different variant. You would have seen this before. This is the main helicopter the cops are in GTA 5. Here we can see a bunch of vehicles as well. So we got the Bobcat XL that we saw in the very first scene here. Above that is another pickup truck coming back, the Bravado Bison, as well as the Yuga Classic below that, which is Lamar's vehicle that he uses for LD Organics in GTA Online. Then on the road here, an absolute classic, the Bravado Banshee. Of course, we knew this one was going to be coming back. Next shot, can we just acknowledge how awesome this shot looks? This is my favorite shot from the whole trailer. It's already the background on my PC. Seriously, every frame in this trailer could be a wallpaper. But we'll start by moving up this right line of cars here that are all parked on the side of the road. So here at the bottom, we have the Fiesta Comet S2 Cabrio. This is, of course, a Porsche. Fiesta is Porsche in GTA. Above that, we have the Grotti Cheetah Classic, as well as the Grotti Carbonazar. Grotti in GTA 5 is Ferrari. The next car ahead of that we see is the Coquette D10, which is based off a Corvette C8. And then ahead of that one, we've got the Rebla GTS SUV. We'll move over to the left in this lane. So starting off, we've got the Bravado Gauntlet Hellfire coming back. And then a bit further up the road, we have the Obey Tailgater. This was Michael's car from the storyline in GTA 5. Moving over to the left lane, we can see a Lamborghini Aventador. This is currently not in GTA, so this is a brand new vehicle. This will be a Pegassi vehicle. Lamborghini is Pegassi. Behind the Aventador, we see the Benefactor Shafter V12 returning. And then at the back here, we've got, of course, the Ocean View Hotel, iconic from Vice City. But in front of it is also another iconic car. And this looks to be some upgraded version of the Oceanic from Vice City. If you've never played Vice City, this car was basically always outside the Ocean View Hotel. And I actually hope that in the final game, almost all the time, this car will be parked out front of there as well. That would be awesome. Then the final car we can clearly see here is the Vapid Dominator GTX. Maybe my favorite muscle car in GTA Online, either that or the Buffalo STX. So I'm pretty stoked to see this coming back. This next scene is awesome as well. I've said that a few times. Every scene in this trailer is awesome. Just look at it. But clearly we see a closer up shot of the Dodo that we saw earlier. Can't really make out any of the cars on the road. We're just a bit too far away, but we can see another returning vehicle up the top here is the Blimp. And then in the water, just a bunch of new boats, ships, and yachts. Of course, we don't know the names for these ones yet, but it looks like we'll have drivable cargo ships, drivable yachts now, as well as a bunch of new drivable boats. In this next shot, we can see some influencers shutting down an entire intersection for a live stream. Kinda crazy. We've seen some of the vehicles here before, so I won't mention those ones again. Starting off with the car that they're actually standing on, we have the Vapid Stania, the Karen Sultan down here. Over here, we can see the Vapid Dominator ASP, as well as the Ubermarkt Cypher. Then we can also see the Maibatsu Penumbra, as well as the Elegy Retro Custom. Then finally, up the top, we've spoke about a bunch of these ones before, but for the new one, we've got the Gauntlet Classic coming back. In this crazy Florida man shot here, which is just wild, in the very first millisecond, you really have to pause it to see this one, but you can see the back half of a Bravado Buffalo, so the police Buffalo will be returning. Very clearly in the shot, we can see a new Dodge Ram. This is not a returning vehicle, but I think everyone knows what a Dodge Ram looks like. Pretty hard to mistake that one. We also get a look of the Vapid Sand King XL whizzing past the screen. This dude here holding his sack, he just got out of an Imponte Ruiner. This is the base Ruiner, not the Ruiner 2000 with rockets. I would hope this guy does not have a car that has rockets and a parachute, because yeah, there was a version of this car in GTA Online that had that. This is a new vehicle. This will be a Chevrolet. I'm not exactly sure which type, but there's actually a few things we can take from this screenshot. The first is the sticker on the back of the window here. It says Ride Out Customs. So it looks like this will be GTA 6's version of LS Customs, or at least one of them. I would assume we're actually going to have a bunch of different workshops, or auto shops, I should say. In GTA Online and GTA 5 alone, we had LS Customs, Beaker's Garage, Benny's Motorworks, as well as Amani Tech. So I would assume this is just one of many. We can also see that this is definitely a custom paint job, or maybe not even a paint job. This could be a vehicle wrap. It's kind of hard to tell. And then finally, if you zoom in on the mirror, we can see that mirrors actually work in GTA 6. The reflections look accurate. In the Mud Club shot, we just get a bunch of the pickup trucks that we've seen already. The Caracara 4x4, the Bison. On the right though, we do have some type of monster truck. This looks similar to the Liberator in GTA 5, but the decal is different, so I think this will be new. And then very clearly, we do have the Nagasaki Outlaw returning as well. Moving on to the crazy Karen, she apparently is driving a D-Class Vamos. Even though she's crazy, I think she's got pretty good taste. In this shot here, we can see two new police vehicles. The first one is the Stania that we saw before, and then a brand new vehicle based off the Ford Explorer. So it really looks like the cops are going to have way more cars at their disposal, and I'm all for it. And speaking of cop cars, in the very next scene, we have another one, a Gauntlet Hellfire variant. But this doesn't just look like a cop car. I think this is going to be like an FIB car. Definitely doesn't look like a standard police car. We can also see the Anis Hellion returning from GTA 5. And then on the top left, we have a Volkswagen Golf. With the Dirt Bike Club shot, we've got at least two vehicles we can tell are returning, the Sanchez, as well as the Nagasaki Blazer. In this Weasel News shot, we get even more police police cars, so many. I like it. So the one in the middle is a Buffalo STX police variant, and then the two on either side of it are a new vehicle based off a Ford Taurus. Up the top, we've got the Banshee, again, another Dodge. I'm not too sure what this car is. And in front of that one, we've got the Karen Futo coming back, but maybe the coolest car in the scene is the Fisker Comet Retro. Any classic Porsche, especially a 911, pretty cool car. And then the final scene we really have to talk about here is this one. Jason and Lucia are driving this one. This is the D-Class Tulip. And then we have a fan favorite. I'm not really sure why people love this car so much. It's the Dubster, and I think it's the Dubster 2, a new version. I'm not one that loves the Dubster hype. I don't quite get it, but hey, you Dubster fans, yeah, we're getting an updated version. And that's everything we know about GTA 6. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more stuff like this. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Favorite color, money green. I've been on my grind since I was in the 7th grade.